Okay, let's discuss about procrastination. And we're gonna hear it from the world's number one procrastinator, and that's me. Like, no joke. I genuinely think that I could have won an award for the world's number one procrastinator. Procrastination was my best friend, reliable and always there. Everything around me moved, people moved forward, life moved on, but not me. I stayed stuck. I tried all the usual fixes. I watched hundreds of motivational videos, stuck sticky notes on my wall with you got this in bold letters, and made a playlist of pump up songs to get me moving. And guess what? Nothing worked. And finally, I felt overwhelmed, even more stuck, and gave up on all those remedies too. But you know what? I completely turned it all around. I stepped down as the world's number one procrastinator. If someone tells you, follow this, you'll never procrastinate again, just know it's a scam. Because here's the first thing I want you to understand. You'll only get out of procrastination when you decide you want to get out. And that's when things begins to shift. Every night I'd go to my bed with the same thought running in my mind. Tomorrow is the day. I'll fix everything. Until one day, when I made a different kind of decision. And that is, today I'm not gonna fix everything. Today I'm getting myself back. And that day I asked myself the most important question. Why do we procrastinate? And found two main reasons. The first one is fear. Yeah, the fear of the unknown, fear of the failure, fear of the discomfort. Let's say you want to lose weight and you desire to eat healthy and start exercising. But when it's actually the time of exercising, your brain kicks in. Like, what if it's too hard? What if I get cramps? Maybe I should just ease into it. And maybe not today. Let's do it tomorrow. The fear doesn't always scream. Sometimes it whispers enough doubts to stop you from starting. The second reason is lethargy. Who's gonna ask me anyway? Can I do it tomorrow? And I've got superpowers. I'll catch up in one go. And that tomorrow becomes next week becomes next month, and suddenly a whole year has gone by. And as we keep putting things off like this, another bad habit sneaks in, and that is excuses. You buy a course to learn a new skill and you start strong and you procrastinated it for a couple of days, let's say like Wednesday and Thursday, and you say to yourself that it's already the weekend, it's already Friday, so let me start it fresh on Monday. And that Monday becomes never. The more we delay, the better we get at justifying the delay. And that's the trap. After understanding this, I made a list of the things that I'd been putting off, and of course, the list was too long. But instead of panicking about this, I started working through it. I tricked my brain. I said, like, just do it for 5 minutes. That's it. Because here's the thing, once you start to do something, your brain wants to keep going. And it's a psychological effect called Signeric effect. Basically, you might have heard about the 5 minute rule. But here is the important part. When we get motivated, we try to tackle everything at once, which never works. And that's where most of us lose momentum. We plan too much, we try too hard, fail to keep up, and end up back in the loop of planning, trying, and failing. It's normal to feel overwhelmed by the unfinished work, but the only way to get through it is gradually. So focus on one task at a time. Another thing that made me never feel like procrastinating is when I started manifesting and loving. If you do a task just because you're supposed to do it or it's mandatory, you won't stick to it for a long term. It can be anything: studying, gym, working on your passion, learning a new skill. It can be anything. But when you manifest the best version of yourself after completing the task, things shift. You don't go to gym because you have to. You go to gym because you see yourself with a strong, jacked body. You don't study just because your exams are coming. You do it because you can clearly feel the version of you who ranks well, who is confident and proud. And when you fall in love with that version of yourself, you stop seeing the task as a burden. You're no longer forcing yourself to do a task. You're pulled towards. And I also learned it's important to celebrate every small win. No one wants to live like a robot, just ticking off the task without emotion. I'm not asking you to celebrate by spending money or doing something dramatic. Just take a moment, look at yourself, and feel the progress. Even if it's slow, be grateful that it's steady. And this simple habit keeps your energy alive. Most importantly, this keeps your obsession and the passion for the task from fading. Because when you connect the progress with a positive feeling, your brain starts wanting to do more and not avoiding. The next important thing is stop focusing on the perfection. Let's say you plan 9 tasks for a day and ended up only completing 8. Don't let that one unfinished task to ruin your entire mindset. I've been there. I felt disappointed, thoughts like I'll never be productive creeping in. But here is the truth. Sometimes you gave your best and that took more time. It's not failure and it's effort. Perfection is great, but it's not necessary. What's necessary is the consistency. Even if you feel disappointed about the previous day, what really matters is if you can really start again the next day. And that's what brings you the result. That's what builds the habit inside you. And finally, don't be afraid to take a small break if you need one. Because even continuity happens with pauses. Rest don't ruin your discipline, it protects it. Because controlling your mind and staying consistent, it's not a force, it's an art. If this video helped you in any way, make sure to subscribe to the channel and share to someone who you think that they don't really deserve to be the world's number one procrastinator.